defending the free market, and making the moral case for capitalism. The Justin Moore Show. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Justin Moore Show. Now, guys, I've been very busy lately, working, farm stuff. And actually, this last weekend, I had my brother's bachelor party that I hosted. So we're shooting guns, floating the river, drinking beer, all sorts of fun stuff. And actually I have his wedding here in a few weeks. So I'll be giving the best man speech. So I think actually what I'll do is I'll record the speech and I might just play it here on the podcast after I do it. We'll see. But just kind of letting you guys know about that. Now, what I want to do on today's show, just kind of analyzing everything that's been going on. We had the Republican convention a few weeks ago. Then we just had the Democrat convention. I really didn't spend much time. Actually, all I watched was Trump's speech. That's all I got to. I don't know if I'll jump back, listen to Hillary's at all. I mean, you only have so much time in a day. And the question is, do I want to spend my time watching a bunch of Democrats and Republicans talk about stuff? No. Even though this has been weeks ago since Trump gave his speech. And I have to say, you could make a drinking game from Trump's speech. Every time he says, believe me, you take a shot, okay? That's my drinking game, okay? So next time, if he ever does become president, believe me, take a drink, okay? Believe me. And, he just used that phrase a lot. And you guys have heard me say before on this podcast, just going back, and I think I've even labeled an episode, Trump the dictator. He is an authoritarian type. There's no question about it. Then he just gave this speech, and Trump said, I am the law and order candidate. That scares the crap out of me. I mean, this guy he is an authoritarian to the T. And I just going back, these last few months too, like I'll pick up on little things he says. I'm like, oh, I kind of get a shiver down my spine. And it's like, yep, that's more evidence that he's an authoritarian. I remember him saying how he's all about loyalty, and he loves to reward those who are most loyal to him. He said that, and go back any of the movies you watch. These mobster guys, the people who are loyal, that do what the guy says without questioning him. I mean, this is what Trump's talking about. Oh man, I need a drink. And another thing Trump does, how he doesn't listen to any advisors. But the only people who are really advising Donald Trump are his family. And look at his family, how they keep so close together. You go back during the reigns of a lot of these kings and queens, just go back in history. They want to keep the family, keep the power close, and keep the family close. Otherwise, you get, people in the family wanting to take over, and there's a power struggle, that sort of thing. I mean, you want to keep the family close and keep others out. And just how Trump just keeps his family just right up next to him, and they're the ones who are advising him, and essentially no one else is. I mean, just all these little tiny things, you add them together, and how everything Trump says, it's all about him. He alone will make America great again. Not us. Now, of course, as a libertarian sort of guy, you'd be looking for a guy looking for keywords, talking about the free market. Obviously with the market, it's just so complex. It doesn't matter who it is. Not one person can fix it. So Trump, he says nothing about the free market. He talks nothing about the U.S. Constitution, which limits the power of government. No, this guy is an authoritarian to the T. And actually, if you guys remember back, I said months ago on my show, I remember mentioning in passing how I had a few quotes from Trump that I wanted to share with you guys. Well, today on the show, I want to share those quotes just to help give some insight into what Trump is doing, what Trump has done, and it really explains Trump. And forgive me, guys. My voice, I'm still suffering from this cold. It's been weeks. I tell you, when I get sick, it just lingers on forever. It's annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read a few of these quotes from Trump. And you guys tell me, is this exactly what Trump has been doing this whole campaign? Okay, let's start with the first one here. Now keep in mind, these quotes are from Donald Trump's book. And actually, I should mention that first. Several months ago, I finished reading Trump's book that I believe is from 1987 called Art of the Deal. You know, it's his best-selling book. It's the book he always brags about. Well, as I was reading it on my Kindle, I went through and I highlighted stuff that I found really interesting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Donald Trump. This is exactly what he's doing. I'm going to read a few of these quotes to you, and you guys tell me. I mean, this is interesting. I mean, this is all the way back 1987. You know, I was born in 88. So basically, 29 years ago. Here's these quotes, and this is Donald Trump. Okay, here's the first one. One thing I've learned about the press is that they're always hungry for a good story. And the more sensational, the better. It's in the nature of the job, and I understand that. The point is that if you are a little different or a little outrageous, or if you do things that are bold and controversial, the press is going to write about you. I've always done things a little differently. I don't mind controversy, and my deals tend to be somewhat ambitious. Also, I achieved a lot when I was very young, and I choose to live in a certain style. The result is that the press has always wanted to write about me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, isn't this Trump being a little outrageous? Look at all the controversies Trump has engaged in throughout all of his years in the public life. I mean, you talk about going back to, him and Rosie O'Donnell going at it. Look at since he announced that he's running for president back in June of last year. How Trump has managed to stay in the news for more than a year straight. It's always been Trump, Trump, Trump. It's amazing what this guy's been able to accomplish. And it's because of what I just read right here. He's being bold. He's being controversial. He's being a little different. He's being a little outrageous, just like he mentioned in that quote. And think about it. I mean, people are sick of like the average politician out there, just saying the same thing. Everything they say is scripted. Everything has been weighed by all these, these focus groups. And so everything is measured. And you can just tell when you hear these politicians, they're not being real with you. They're not being genuine. When you have a guy like Trump show up, he's being genuine. I mean, he does say, even though he changes his mind every 24 hours, when he's saying something, he believes it at the time, And that's, I think that's really been a way, and that's how Trump's been able to connect with people. Just being different, being fresh, saying things completely off the cuff. Now, you think about it, like from being a politician, like if I was a politician, and actually I know for me personally, I hate saying things and being repetitive. I hate it. I don't like being scripted. And so I think I would probably do a little bit of a Trump, but it is intense. You have to have incredible confidence that you're never going to screw up, to come before a crowd, to not have any notes, and you're just going to talk. And you're just going to go with it. Whatever comes to your mind, your stream of consciousnness, you're just going to go with it. Oh, that's pretty ballsy. And so that's why most people can't do what Trump's doing. But I agree. Like for me, I like something like a Trump, how he is just being fresh and just saying what's on his mind. I do like that, but obviously what he's saying that's on his mind, I don't agree with. So it doesn't matter. I'm not about cult of personality. But a lot of people cling to a cult of personality. And I know anyway, I didn't want to go off that much on just that quote. Okay, I have a few more here. Okay, listen to this one. The other thing I do when I talk with reporters is to be straight. I try not to deceive them or to be defensive, because those are precisely the ways most people get themselves into trouble with the press. Instead, when a reporter asks me a tough question, I try to frame a positive answer, even if that means shifting the ground. For example, if someone asked me what negative effects the world's tallest building might have on the West Side, I turn the tables and talk about how New Yorkers deserve the world's tallest building and what a boost it will give the city to have that honor again. Okay, there's Trump right there again. Now, again, what he's saying right here, that's incredibly smart. And he's right. Being straight with the reporter, being honest, coming across as honest, that's very effective, and people can catch on. People can detect when someone's not being honest, when they're hiding something. And the average politician, you just hear him talk, you're like, you just want to tune him out. You're like, okay, you're just lying. Just shut up. Or like, look at Hillary. Every time Hillary Clinton moves her mouth, she's lying. I mean, okay, now I'm going to have to keep this episode short again. I'm seriously, as I'm talking here, I keep losing my voice. I have to drink water so I can try to stay alive here. Okay, now listen to this quote. And now tell me, is this exactly what Trump's been doing the entire time when he's running for president? The final key to the way I promote is bravado. I play to people's fantasies. People may not always think big themselves, but they can still get very excited by those who do. That's why a little hyperbole never hurts. People want to believe that something is the biggest and the greatest and the most spectacular. I call it truthful hyperbole. It's an innocent form of exaggeration and a very effective form of promotion. That is Donald Trump. That is exactly what he's done. Look at how Trump talked about the wall. He's going to build this great wall. It's going to be a beautiful wall with a beautiful door. Oh yeah, it's going to have that beautiful little handle too. You know, this is Trump. This is exactly what he's done. He calls it truthful hyperbole. And people just are imagining this. They're imagining that wall. And they are. It's just, and you think about it. And what he did by talking about the wall. And the wall was always one of his main focuses. Why? Trump used the wall as a symbol. Trump linked his name and his identity to building that wall, to that great, beautiful wall. It's going to be a huge wall. Then that guy, remember guys, the controversy, and I actually played it on my show. The former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, he says, hey, I ain't paying for no effing wall. And then Trump replies back at one of the Republican debates. He's like, the wall just got 10 feet taller. You know, like what Trump's been able to do, and he's by making this a symbol and just bragging up this wall. Think about go back, think about anyone you know who's a Republican, conservative type. A lot of them I know. They were always huge about, oh, those damn illegals. That was their main thing. Oh, they couldn't stand those damn illegals. And they were all about securing the border. And yeah, we got to put up that wall. Okay, you assign, when you're talking and bragging up this beautiful wall, when you're playing to people's fantasies, you're imagining this wall that looks like you're at the pearly gates of heaven, right? When you're imagining Trump talk about this. A giant wall equals border security, which equals stopping illegal immigration. So you're going right to the core of the average conservative, Republican voter out there. And that's really how we got his crowds to begin with. By really focusing on illegal immigration and the wall. He focused right there. And that symbolism of that wall and what that represented to the average conservative out there, they clung to that idea. He played to people's fantasies and he created a cult-like following. And actually, speaking of which, on Facebook, I post up, the episodes that come out. I got several comments to one of the episodes that came out when I was talking about Alan Greenspan. And, the coming collapse and all that. You guys just go back just a few episodes ago. And I get one reply related to the post. Actually, when this guy put this up, it had nothing to do with anything I said in reference to the Alan Greenspan episode. Nothing. This is what this guy said. He put this in all caps. No matter what they say or do, our vote goes Trump, the man that speaks the truth. For the people, by the people, we vote for America. We vote for Trump and only Trump. America and its people first. Can you guys believe this stuff? I mean, some of these Trump people out there, like, who puts that up? What the heck is that? I mean, Trump really created a cult, and there's no substance to these guys. Yeah, Trump, go Trump. Yeah, make America great again. Trump. Yeah. Build that wall. And you guys remember when I was talking, when I went to the Trump rally that was in Billings, Montana, a few months ago. And it really was. It was the people nodding their head up and down. It was the very little substance. They just have their few little keyword things that Trump says. Yeah. They're just going crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, guys, with you. Okay. I have a few more quotes here, and I do. I have to keep this episode shorter. I'm going to lose my voice again. Okay, get this quote from his book. This is, again, from Trump's book, The Art of the Deal from 1987. You can't con people, at least not for long. You can create excitement. You can do wonderful promotion and get all kinds of press. And you can throw in a little hyperbole. But if you don't deliver the goods, people will eventually catch on. Well, is this what's happening to Trump right now? You know, Trump, he pulled off this amazing stunt over the last year. He became the Republican nominee, which I did not see coming, which most people did not see coming. But can Trump really pull this off? Can he keep it going until the election? Hillary Clinton, she's up in the polls. Trump seems to be stumbling. He's making mistakes all over the place. And like he says here, what's great about the election is that you don't really have to deliver the goods until after you're elected president, right? But here's the thing, Trump, he was able to win the Republican primary because, you start with 17 contenders and, if you're always getting 30% of the vote, yeah, you can pull off a win because everyone else is diluting their vote. The conservatives are getting all split up. But Trump, if he's basically still had the same support all along. And I like Trump, when he started his speech, his acceptance speech at the Republican convention, he's pointing out more Republicans voted for me than anyone ever before. He's going off, all right? And just bragging about, hey, look, you guys can say what you want, but more Republicans voted for me than anyone else ever. Okay, Trump. And then he's pointing out, Hillary Clinton, like the Democrats, I think their voter turnout was 20% less. So basically the Democrats are horrible. Well, okay. Here's one little thing to throw at Trump to show how silly that is and totally shows how foolish his argument is. If Trump is doing so great, why is Hillary Clinton ahead in the polls? Trump should be smoking her. If all these Republicans are voting for him, he's creating all this enthusiasm. He's losing to Hillary Clinton in the polls. Hillary Clinton is one of the worst candidates with the biggest negatives ever. She should be in prison. And here she is running for president. And she's beating Trump. I mean, this is incredible. I can't believe this. Wow, after all the stuff that came out with Hillary Clinton, it's like, oh man, she should not be able to become president. Well, here she is. Trump, the supposed guy who's this big winner. Yeah, win with me. You guys pick me as a nominee for president. You're going to get sick of winning, right? That's what Trump says. Believe me. Well, we'll see about that. Now, in this, what's also amazing? What this Republican primary really pointed out to me is really revealing, actually. We have a lot of these conservative talking heads out there. And, they're always talking about conservative principles, conservatism wins every time it's tried. You remember hearing Rush say that, right? Well, we come to find out after this primary, these guys are really just cheerleaders. Look at Rush Limbaugh. He said all along during the Republican primary, hey, any of these Republican candidates will be better than Hillary Clinton as president. That's what he said all along. Rush, really? Donald Trump? You look at all the issues, everything he supports. I mean, he once supported universal health care. He's talking about a trade war with China. He's talking about tariffs. Everything Trump is talking about, he's talking about growing the size of government, creating new systems. Okay, yeah, we're going to throw out Obamacare, but, we're not going to let anyone die on the streets. We just need new systems. Everything Trump's talking about is growing the size of government and creating new government programs. If Donald Trump had a D behind his name, Rush wouldn't be supporting him. But because he has an R, oh yeah, well, Trump will be way better than Hillary Clinton. This primary has shown a guy like Rush Limbaugh, all he is a Republican cheerleader. Conservatism, that is not his number one priority. It is go our team, go Republican. Democrats are horrible because they're Democrats. Oh, the damn liberals. That's what it all comes down to. Really, Rush? Is it really just liberals that are destroying everything? Really? That's the only problem we have? No, Rush, it's a joke. Libertarians like me out there, we're the ones, I think, who have the problem pinned down exactly. It's the growth in the size of the government that's a problem. And the problem I have pointed out all along is that it doesn't matter who's elected because both sides, a Hillary Clinton or a Donald Trump, they're both going to grow the size of government. We need to shrink the size of government. That is the problem. We need a currency that's not a fiat currency. We need a currency that's backed by gold. Something that that the government can't manipulate, that the Federal Reserve can't manipulate? How can something serve as a medium of exchange that why would you want to hold something in savings where the government, the Federal Reserve can just multiply it on a whim and it can actually destroy and dilute the value of your savings just like that? Well, it's a hidden, because, inflation, as I've said many times on my show, inflation is a hidden tax, and the government, it's a tool that the government loves to use, but they have to be careful with it. Because, obviously, yes, they can destroy a currency if they're not careful. Well, as you guys have heard me talk about on my show, I think we're nearing an end game. We're getting close to destroying the currency. We're there, my friends. I really do believe that. Gold and silver are the best performing assets of this year. Go listen. You listen to last week's show. I played the panel I moderated at Freedom Fest, and I asked Adrian Day. I said, "Hey, look, gold and silver are the best performing assets of 2016. Gold's gone up about 25%, silver's up about 45%. People who haven't got on board, who haven't bought gold and silver, is it too late? Is it too late for them?" And Adrian Days points out, and he's a big time guy investing in gold and silver. He's got a fund that he manages, millions and millions of dollars. Adrian Day's a great guy. And he says, we're really early in this rally. There's still a lot of money to be made, at least at the very beginning. At least you have to think about it. Don't just think about it in terms of making money with gold and silver. At the very, very least, you're protecting your purchasing power. There's a point I've made. I don't remember the last time I've made this. But here's a very simple example I love to give to people when I'm talking to them in person. It's a way, just when you're talking to the average person, this is how you get them. They become so, it stuns them when you tell them this. You say to them, back in 1948, you could buy a gallon of gas for 25 cents. It's like, well, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? You could buy a gallon of gas for 25 cents. Well, I say to them, as nice as that would be, you still can buy a gallon of gas for 25 cents. You find a quarter, minted 1964 and older. It's now called junk silver, but they're made of 90% silver. And actually, if you go pull up what the value of that is, and actually I didn't do that before I recorded the show here, but every time I look at it, it's always true. You can still buy that same quarter today is worth over $3. It's probably around $3.40. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. It might be around $3.50 for that one quarter today because of the silver content. And what's a gallon of gas today? Well, you could buy more than a gallon of gas for 25 cents because silver and gold, those precious metals, you're preserving your purchasing power at the very least. And now, and so if you guys haven't bought gold and silver yet, I strongly recommend it. And actually, I didn't mean to go off on that much of a tangent there. And let me just quickly jump back to Trump. I was actually going to read one more quote from Trump's book where he's talking about rent control. It's a few pages long, actually, where Trump's pointing out that, hey, he's against rent control. It's a dumb idea. And actually, as you're reading the book, and I was impressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's actually sounds like he's supporting the free market. But then when you get to the end of his argument, it's no, not exactly. But I think I'm going to lose my voice if I try reading that. So I might just save that for a different day, or I'm not sure what I'll do. But I can't do it on today's show. But let me just say, with Trump, everything I've said about him, and what's so funny, now it is official. We have Trump against Hillary Clinton. Who will be the next president of the United States? Who will win? Who will become the 45th president of the United States? Well, if you guys remember back to the very first Republican debate, Trump was bragging about Hillary Clinton coming to his wedding. Oh, yeah, you guys remember that? Yeah. Well, let's play it.
So what'd you get from Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi? Well, I'll tell you what. With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation that, frankly, that foundation is supposed to do good. I didn't know her money would be used on private jets going all over the world. It was.
So what have I been saying? The two parties aren't very different from each other, are they? But here we have guys like Rush Limbaugh saying, oh yeah, you gotta vote for the R team. Yeah, go Republicans, because the damn Democrats, they screw up everything. Oh, yes. No, Rush. There's very little difference between the two parties. How about support principles, like defending the free market and making the moral case for capitalism like I do on my show here? Of all the listeners that Rush has, think of the impact he could have pulling more people over to the issue side of things instead of just like, oh yeah, hate the Democrats and because they're damn liberals and liberals screw up everything. Well, okay, if you're armed with that knowledge you get from Rush, tell me how that will work out for you when you're debating one. When you say a liberal is just stupid and they're just dumb, what's your chances of converting them over to your side? You're just saying that they're stupid. Oh yeah, you guys just screw up everything. You're not going to win anyone over. Okay? What Rush is doing, okay, sure, it's a good way to rally the crowd and get people worked up. I mean, it works great for a show, rating, and so forth. But that's not going to win back our country. What Rush is doing. That's not how we're going to win this battle. And that's why, guys, if you guys can help me on my show here, I think what I'm doing here is a way we can win the battle. Actually getting to the core of these ideas and what's really taking place, really breaking down the issues to their essence and how the free market really is the answer. Actually, you guys know, I mentioned on previous shows, hey, if you donate $50 to my show via PayPal, I'll send you my bonus episodes. And actually, these bonus episodes, just really quick, no, make sure you don't shut off the podcast yet because the $50 limit that I set so you can get the bonus episodes, I think I might actually raise that up. I don't know, probably by the end of September to maybe the limit will be $75 or $100 you'll have to donate so you get the bonus episodes. So if you donate now, you can, you only have to donate $50 and I'll send you these bonus episodes. You get the bonus episode or the behind the scenes interview with Keith Weiner, who's also on my panel at Freedom Fest. You guys heard him talking on the last week's show. And you guys also get my Secrets to Vegas episode. Where seriously, when I went to Vegas just in Freedom Fest this last time, I paid $153 for 5 nights in my hotel. The average person staying at Planet Hollywood probably spent $650 to $700. So think of, I save you over $500 if you just listen to what I say on that show. I save you money there. And I give you 2 stock tips on that episode, on the Secrets to Vegas episode, on top of everything else. So all the money I can get to save you on your hotel, more than pays and covers for your $50 donation. And then these 2 stock tips. When I recorded this episode, the bonus episode, back in the middle of June, I went and looked at this. The 2 stocks I recommended, it's actually kind of funny. They're both up the same amount. If you had bought those 2 stocks I recommended right now, okay? So basically, you're looking at just under 2 months, you would be up 28%. You would be up 28% in less than 2 months if you had bought the 2 stocks I recommend on that bonus episode where you only had to donate $50. That's it. Say if you put $1,000 in each stock, you'd be up, about almost $300 on each stock. You'd be up $600. So I could have made you $600 on the stocks, and I could save you $500 on hotels. And, that's the start of it. I'll also teach you how to play blackjack the right way so you actually can make money at it. So just right there, you could make $1,100 off a $50 donation. So that is why there's incredible value in these bonus episodes. $50 is really low. That's a screaming deal. So I am going to bump that up to probably, as I said, $75 or $100. I'm not sure which. I don't know. I'm still working out the details, but I'll make sure to let you guys know what I will be doing for certain. But yeah, make sure you get in now. You do your donations now. You will just have to put the $50 donation in and you get those bonus episodes. And I still, even though those stocks have moved up, you could still jump in. They're actually still cheap. You can still make money on them. You could still double your money on these stocks. And so why wait any longer? It seems like the gold and silver bull market are here. Buy these 2 stocks. And these stocks aren't the junior miners that are extremely risky. Yes, I have some money invested in junior miners, and yeah, sure, up, a couple 100%, that sort of thing. That does happen with the junior miners, but you also can come down 50%, no problem. They're really dangerous. But these stocks, incredibly safe way to play the gold and silver bull market. And it's a leverage play to the metals themselves. So after you own the physical metal, oh man, you leverage yourself down with these stocks that are, as I said, incredibly safe. Maybe I should have started talking like Trump. These are the most beautiful stocks you've ever seen. They're going to make you a beautiful sum of money. Believe me, okay? You're going to make some money. So yeah, guys, make sure you do that. And actually, let me just tell you guys really quick, in case you don't know how to donate to my show, you can just go to my website, justinmooreshow.com. More is spelled M-O-H-R. Right on the left-hand side, there's a little PayPal button. You click on it. You type in an amount. You put in $50 or more. I will send you those bonus episodes. So that's all you got to do. So yeah, again, I really got to stop this episode. My voice, oh man, I'm losing it. I can't completely lose my voice because I got to give the best man speech at my brother's wedding. That's in about, that's in a week's time. So I've got to stop talking. And so guys, I thank you guys for being here. I will talk with all you guys next week. And I'm looking forward to it. This is Justin Moore signing off.